I get asked all the time, what is the one skill that an MSP should have in order to close more deals? And I'm going to not only give you what that skill is, but I'm going to teach you how to use it in your sales process. My name is Harrison Barron from growth-generators.com, and we help MSPs grow, whether that is sales training, marketing, or even some business operations as well. It has been a true blessing with how many of you guys have reached out to us, whether it's in through messaging, through the Discord, through email, the website, wherever it may be. And I want to say thank you for that. Now, I am going to be covering a lot of material in this video, and I am going to be referencing a specific thing that you will find in the description down below. So if you're listening to it on MSP Heroes, the podcast, or if you're watching it, there's a down in the video description, you will find a ton of super helpful links. One of those is growth-generators.com/resources, where we have opened up all of the resources for you guys. So you can go on there, grab as many of them as you'd like, and start rolling them out. So let's get into it. I'm not going to make you wait anymore. And that one specific skill is quantifying the sale. You see, when you go through the sales process, you're going to do a lot. You're going to talk to the customer. You're going to see about the problems, what's going on in the environment. If it's something, honestly, you even want to get involved in, that's something that's very real. You might want a new customer, but some customers you might just say, it's not worth it. But this one specific skill of quantifying is going to wrap everything up in a nice little bow for you. Now, quantifying can mean a lot of different things. It can be quantifying the price, quantifying the time, quantifying the value, and truly, you have to actually do that through the whole sales process. It doesn't matter if you're having a presentation. It doesn't matter if you're pitching your services, what you're actually offering. All of that's good, but at the end of the day, you actually have to quantify that for the customer. They have to relate what you're providing to value to them. You see, we as MSPs, we know how important it is to have a good functioning system, how important it is to, I don't know, not get hacked, right? How important it is to have your imaginary printer print correctly. All of those things are wildly important. But how do you actually quantify that to customers? And that's really the thing that you have to close that gap on. You see, nobody is going to move forward. It doesn't matter if you have the best service under the sun, you still have to quantify that to the customer. And we need to go through the process of actually quantifying it, because you want to quantify your price correctly. And in most cases, I shouldn't even say most, all cases, at least people that have reached out are all struggling with this one thing. And my hope for after this video, you can crush it every single time. That is going to massively skyrocket your success when it comes to the actual MSP sale. You see, as humans, we buy for four main reasons. And those reasons are pain in the present, pain in the future, right? So something that's causing you an issue right now, something that could cause you an issue down the road, for example, like cybersecurity. But there's also pleasure in the present and pleasure in the future, right? Getting something, buying something, whatever it might be, is pleasure in the present. And then saving up for retirement, just as very easy thing to relate to as pleasure in the future. You know that what you're doing is going to be good for you down the road, so you feel good doing it, right? But when you actually go through an MSP sale, there's a lot that happens through that process. You're talking to them about their environment and whether or not you want to do business really with them. But we have to tie that to a monetary value. And that's really, really important. Now, the first and foremost, the most important thing is when you actually go through that sales process, the questions, the conversation that you're having, all of that, you want to understand, most important, is the client's needs. You have to truly understand that. You see, no client is going to say, hey, we've actually organized a beautiful spreadsheet of every problem that we have. Can you solve these? Now, it would be very, very nice if that was the case, but that's never the actual case. And in a lot of times, we as people don't go deep enough. Now, I talked in one of my recent videos about asking open-ended questions, and those open-ended questions and defining questions, having those customers define that information is vitally, vitally important. But ultimately, the reason we're asking those questions is to figure out the actual needs of the clients because they're never going to tell us. We have to be the experts, right? And we have to do that digging. We have to keep going through deeper and deeper and deeper as time goes on. And what we have to do is tie those problems to dollars because that's truly where the magic actually happens in all of this. So, as you go through, let's start to figure out how we can quantify that to either time or money because most businesses have one of those two. They either have a lot of time or they have a lot of money. And or they might have no time and no money, but it's rare that they have neither, right? If it's a new business, they might not have the money, but they have plenty of time. And if it's an established business, they might have time or they might have money but they don't have time, and that's where you have to start bringing your mind through and bringing that customer through. And now you have to start to relate it. You have to get a little uncomfortable and maybe mentioning it to, hey, I'm going to ask you some questions. It is nothing more than me trying to figure out and learn from you guys and see what's currently going on, but do you mind if I ask you some questions that might make you mildly uncomfortable? And feel free to not answer them, but it really helps us see the impact of technology on your business and learn where the benefit is that we can actually go and provide. So one of the easiest things that I absolutely love to do, and if you're a longtime subscriber, I've mentioned this part of it in the past, is if you have the ability, walk around the office. If they have employees, ask the employees, hey, do you mind if we take a walk through the office? I've never gotten the answer no. It's always, yeah, what do you want to see? Hey, I'd like to talk to the employees, I'd like to see your networking equipment, all of that. More often than not, they're going to hand you the keys to the kingdom, or they are going to literally show you through the entire process of what they have. And that's all really good. But what you want to start to mention to them is, and start to bring up is, hey, we know that you're having technology issues. How much time are you actually spending on these technology issues? More often than not, the business owner isn't going to give you the real answer. So you have to use these suckers, right? And you have to go out and talk to employees because the employees are going to be the ones that are going to be honest with you. And you could say, hey, what kind of technology problems are you currently having? Now, on the probably 1% chance you might find a business, no problems. And that's great. They might not be your perfect customer, and that's okay. But the other 99% of businesses, if you can go to the employees and say, hey, what kind of technology problems have you been having lately, right? Or, hey, is the printer always working for you when you need it to print? Or are you able to share files the way you want to share them? That employee is going to give you feedback on this. And you better take your little digits and start to punch away notes in your phone. I'm looking eagerly for a pen on my desk, putting those notes on a notepad, on your iPad, whatever it is, tablet, computer, whatever it may be. But you have to be scribbling as fast as you possibly can with all of the information, right? And you don't have to ask the employee how much they're making, but you want to say, this person takes, I don't know, an hour to figure out a problem. Or, hey, this person gets up out of their seat, walks over to somebody else, and says, hey, can you help me with this? Or worse, they get up because they can't work anymore, hoping that the problem is going to fix itself. And then they go sit down on the water cooler and say, now, obviously, a lot of businesses have water coolers still, but they go, you know what, printer's not working. Maybe you can go and take a crack at it. That person is not going to get back to work and just wait for that printer to work. They have now employed another colleague to then come back and help them. And these are all questions that you can ask. You can legitimately go, do you ever ask other people for help in the business? You want to learn so you can then figure out the real needs of the customer, but they're going to give you this information. And then as you progressively get to the end of the sale, before you're ready to say, hey, I would like you to buy my stuff, I'd like you to sign up for my services, you have to figure out the time and the money associated with those problems that they're actually having, right? Because if an employee, if we use round numbers, if they make about $100,000 a year, that's about $50 an hour. If one person gets up out of their desk every week for 1 hour and then goes and bothers somebody else every single week, that's two people. That means that's costing that company $200 an hour. Now, or better yet, sorry, math, $100 an hour. Now, if that happens twice a month, three times a month, four times a month, not only is the business losing out on the potential revenue that those people could be generating for the business, but also those people are wasting time. They're not only wasting their own time, but they're also going to somebody else who probably doesn't know how to do the appropriate amount of work or the appropriate work, and they're now bothering them. This is quantifying. We can then talk about man hours or labor hours. We can talk about how much money it's actually costing the business owner. And all of these now go into, hey, I know that look, I would really like to work with you guys, and maybe you guys feel the same way about me. But before we get into it, I do want to just talk about a couple things. I've gone around the office already with them there, and we spoke to a handful of people. And just based on, I'm looking at fake money here, but based on my notes, it seems like your employees typically get up, almost all of them actually said they're getting up out of their desks at least once a week, bothering other people or interrupting other people about technology issues. Now, I don't know what these people, what they get paid, and that's not my responsibility. But let's say we ballpark numbers. Everyone here is making $100,000. And if everybody, maybe there's 10 people in that office, if every single person is wasting 1 hour per week, we can do the math. That's $500 per week. That's 4 weeks in a month. Last time I checked, do the math. That's now $2,000 of burned time, right? You can associate that time with a dollar amount. And now we're quantifying that to the business owner. There's plenty of other ways that I could talk about quantifying that time. Hey, maybe the business owner comes in every single Monday and they got to boot up the server because nobody works on the weekends in a very mythical world, because I think everybody works on weekends nowadays. But they go in, they boot up the server, and they got to wait 30, 45 minutes, sometimes an hour. Maybe they got to sit there and wait for a screen to pop up to authorize something. There's always technology problems, right? Maybe there's a power outage. Maybe there's a network issue. Whatever it might be. But now you're able to find, right? We talked about those 4 reasons why people buy: pain in the present and pain in the future. There is immediate pain right now, and you are quantifying that pain to you guessed it, dollar amount. This quantifies the entire process. So when you go and say, hey, you have 10 people in your office, it's going to cost you, I don't know, $1,500, right? $150 per seat, more than fair. We're going to charge you $1,500. And they're like, whoa, that's a lot of money. But is it a lot of money? Because we know that everybody, on average, out of that 40-hour week, spends 1 hour troubleshooting technology. All of a sudden, you go from $1,500 to, we're actually going to save you $500 a month. And that's not even including the benefits of getting hacked, setting up guest networks so there isn't somebody stealing information, malicious employees that could cause tremendous amounts of damage, employee productivity, whatever it is that you decide to roll out for your services. We are now taking that and truly quantifying that. Now, in the beginning of the video, I also said there was going to be some links down below. One of those links specifically is a pricing calculator. You, knowing, hopefully, the customer that you're going after and knowing your pricing, you now have the ability to say, hey, it seems like you need this service, this service, this service from us. And it looks like it's going to be $1,350, just making up random numbers right now. Currently, you guys are spending 15 or just burning, literally taking the money, lighting it on fire, and burning $1,500 just with your tech issues. By the way, after going through this whole process, these tech issues really, one, could be solved almost immediately by one of our basic level technicians, but more than likely, they're going to happen again and again and again. Would you rather have somebody make a phone call after 5 minutes and say, hey, this is what's going on, boom, you fix it, or let's fast forward 2 or 3 months. What if these issues never happened again, right? It takes a skilled person to go through and make sure that those issues aren't going to happen. But with our services, not only do we do that, we're proactive. We're making sure that not only these issues get resolved, but these issues never actually happen. You see, currently you're spending about $2,000 a month on your employees, just guessing, and it's just going to no man's land. You're burning that money. They're making the same amount of money, but you're not getting any more additional productivity. Think about that, right? If every single person, that's 10 people, that's 40 more labor hours per week that you're getting that's actually productive. How much further would your business be if you were getting an extra 40 hours per week? Now you've taken the problem, the issues that they're having, right? That the customer's needs, you've fully understood it. You've tied it to time and money. Time being one of the most valuable resources, and money being something that's coming out of the business owner's pocket, and you're resolving both problems. And with an appropriate pricing strategy and understanding what you're actually going to be offering to your ideal customer, and there's a link down below for a pricing strategy or pricing sheet and training, but you can go through this. This then allows you to have a much better hand when you're negotiating with that customer, because that customer is going to say, well, $1,500, that's an expense I'm not ready for, and that's a lot of money. You're right. It's not a little bit of money. It's, in maybe your eyes, it's considered a lot of money. But what's more expensive? Lighting $2,000 a month on fire, or saving that money, knowing that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 5 months from now, your company isn't going to get hacked. We're going to make sure we stay productive. Everybody's systems are going to work the way that they're supposed to be working. And on the off chance that problems do arise, you now have a phone number, an email, a portal that you can submit a ticket, and one of our technicians will get to it within whatever response time that you actually offer. And on top of that, not only have you now put all of their problems to bed, and they now can say, oh, well, now that you put it like that, yeah, well, my employees don't make $50 an hour. Okay, even if they make $25 an hour, that's still only a $500 increase to have peace of mind, to know that your system isn't going to get hacked. The backups are happening correctly. The network's set up correctly. And hey, guess what? If you need to upgrade, change things, add more seats, the onboarding is going to be smoother. The entire process becomes much, much, much easier. Think about it. If you didn't address this right now, today, and you hire 10 more employees, are you going to sleep good at night knowing that you're burning 80 hours of labor every single month? I don't know. I run my own business. I would be furious if that happened. So why wouldn't you want to get ahead of that and never have to deal with that problem right off the bat? And then you can go into your pricing. You could talk about why your pricing is justified, the benefits, keyword, that the customer's actually going to get. You don't want to overpromise. You don't want to underpromise. You want to promise the service that you actually plan on giving that customer. And hey, by the way, because we focus on, hopefully you're niching down, we focus on this very specific industry. You're constantly getting feedback, not only from this one customer, but you're getting feedback from all of your customers. That's only going to make you as an MSP more lethal, better to do the best job, better to address problems even before they happen. Because if it happens with one customer, you're already prepared to deal with it for another customer. That's the benefit. And you can sell that benefit now that you've quantified that money and quantified that time savings to that customer. And all of a sudden, your $1,500 a month bill is actually a $500 savings. It goes from a cost to a savings, and now we've changed it. Now, in some cases, it's not always going to be a savings. There are times where it's going to be a cost, but how much less does that cost become versus that full price? Because that full price might be scary. They might not be ready to spend that $1,500 a month. Could be a lot of money to them, and that's more than fine. But what if they got to get the benefits of going to bed at night, knowing that their system isn't going to get hacked. If they go away for a week and they're the number one people that have to do tech support in their own business, the most valuable person, the owner of the company, they go away, then what happens? Do the employees run free because, well, I can't get the network to work and John's away on vacation or Tim's away on vacation or Sue's away on vacation? Now multiple people over 1 week are just not doing their job that they're literally getting paid to do. We're now quantifying all of this that we can then deliver politely and nicely to the customer to say, hey, we're actually not really an expense. Not only are we a savings, but we're a mental easement. Things are going to be much easier for you. You're going to have less stress in your life worrying about these things and knowing that, hey, come after our onboarding, a lot of these problems are going to be addressed immediately. And on top of that, now they have a person dedicated or a company dedicated to addressing those problems. And that's truly where the magic happens. Now, a lot of you guys like to do QBRs, and I'm going to be making a video on QBRs. So you're going to want to hit like and subscribe and notify the little notification bell on there. But one of the things that you can offer and you can tell them as a benefit, very, very important to understand that, of working with you is in your QBRs, quarterly business reviews, you're also going to be going through, hey, out of all, we've done this many tickets. What else are you actually seeing go on in the business? We're getting feedback to do a better job. But not only that, we're also, because we see the same problems over and over and over again, maybe it's actually employee error. We're happy to put together a quick 5, 10, 15, 20-minute video for your employees to build up their training and understand that, hey, this problem is going to happen. Unfortunately, it's just a bug of the software that you decided to buy, but this is how you can address it. So you don't even have to put a ticket in. You can address it on the spot. And it could be just something an employee is doing wrong. But we're constantly looking for regular feedback, especially on your QBRs. We're looking to always improve our processes. But not only that, we would love to help train your employees to be better with the tools that they're currently using, which is going to increase their efficiency over time as well. Sound fair enough? Now you've taken this cost, this headache, you've tied it, you've quantified it to money and time, and now you're showing them the benefits of working with you. And that entire process becomes so much easier to not only sell to the customer, but you're going to walk away knowing that you know their exact problems. You have a hit list of exactly what you need to start working on immediately if they do sign up during your onboarding process. And you get to go through this and be a hero through and through, which is exactly what you want. You want to build those raving fans so they go to their neighbors and say, hey, by the way, you got to check these guys out. They are killing it. That's what you want. You want to create those raving fans. But if you don't show the business owner the time that they're saving, the money that they're saving over and over and over again, and you don't quantify it to them, they don't really know the benefit that they're actually getting. You have to be the one that shows it, that ties the time and the money to the services that you're going to be providing, because they might not even know that the headaches that they have or the problems that they have in the business even exist. And that is your job as the MSP salesperson, whether you own the business or not, to truly succeed. And when you master that, it is as simple, and I don't know why I put this away, but it is as simple as printing money, because you know that it's going to work. You can understand the pain that they're going through. You can tie it to money and show them the true benefits that they're going to get when they hire your MSP. And you doing that and getting good at it and practicing both in real case scenarios and role playing with friends will make you infinitely more successful. And if you want to role play or you want people to play around with, join the Discord, growth-generators.com/Discord. Or if you want to check out our program or membership, MSP Heroes, you're welcome to. There will be a link down below. But I'm actually planning on putting on a specific sales training day to help you kill it. There's sales training in there, but also we were doing, literally last week from recording this video, we were doing live cold calls to bring people in. I want you to crush it and sign more people up. So if you're interested, there is a link down below in the video description and the podcast description. If you want to go grab the pricing calculator, there will be a link down there to the training. After you go through the training, about 30 minutes in, you should get an email with that pricing calculator as well. Other than that, I love the heck out of you guys. As always, I hope you guys found some value in this video. I know that the people that watch this video and learn and implement this are going to make crazy sales that they didn't think they were going to get, and you were going to have raving customers at the end of it. Other than that, as always, love the heck out of you guys, and I'll see you guys on the next one.